What's up, everybody? It's Jeth here. I've got a vid for you today about DoD Narcotic, the captain of the DoD A team, currently playing in the Mythic Clan League Season 1. Awesome 3v3 team game tournament hosted by Deities of Death, the DoD clan, the longest going Age of Mythology clan in the world since 2005. A lot has gone into obviously organizing this tournament, and there's so many awesome games that you guys can catch either on the DoD Twitch channel or their YouTube channel, so you can keep up with the likes of Narcotic there, and I really recommend it. Narcotic is an absolute OG, the epitome of somebody who's been playing this game literally for decades and has honed his skills to the point where he is at the top echelons of the game. So in this vid, we're going to get to know him a bit better. Here, interview with him after one of his games in the Mythic Clan League. And then I'll also afterwards give some more really interesting history in terms of how far he goes back and some of the really cool things. Like, I mean, he used to play against and with Magyar. He used to play also against the Mister in, the bygone days. And I'm not sure if he ever actually got to play on a team with the Mister, it- but best believe this guy was beating these players as well in those days. So he's not just another guy who's played for a long time. He has played at the highest levels in Age of Mythology, but also in other competitive RTS games like StarCraft 2, and then other, obviously quite intricate games like World of Warcraft. He's been a leader in a guild there a little while back. So yeah, but he's back for Age of Mythology Retold. He's been playing a lot. He's captain of the DoD A team. So yeah, let's jump in and let's get to know this guy a bit better and yeah, hopefully we can all learn something and develop ourselves also as players by learning a bit about him. All right, let's hop into the introduction. So, name Federico Tonini, nationality Italy, born 1991. That makes sense how he was still playing in the early days. He would have been a teenager then. And yeah, he took a little break to play StarCraft and World of Warcraft, but he came back for Age of Mythology Retold. Yeah, just shows that once an OG of the game, always an OG. And yeah, just to give you some context for his other teammates in the DoD A team, there's Apoy, Bachi, Darth Nox, Firefox, Grand Monster, I am Apple, and then yeah, Narcotic the captain. So man's got, obviously big leadership skills with experience and just a pretty calm and humble demeanor, which I think, makes a really good combination for a captain. And yeah, look, I mean, his first clan, it wasn't for long in the early Age of Mythology days, was the Experts clan, which was actually a team comprised of many of the admins and experts from the RTS Sanctuary forum, I think. So, man was, obviously getting deep into the game straight off the bat. But nevertheless, what a long stint as a member of Deities of Death from, yeah, the early 2008 all the way through to 2012, and then once again coming back 2014 all the way to the present day. So, what a legend. So, if we take a look at Narcotics Age of Mythology results, it's obviously clear to see he's won the RTSL 6 times, going as far back as 2009. Now, the RTSL, you can see it had many, many seasons. I don't know if it went past season 22, but this tournament was literally like the World Cup of Age of Mythology team games, and this man managed to win it 6 times. He played against many top players. We'll get into the history of some of those older matches after the interview, but he played with and against people like Magyar and Themista, having obviously lost to them, but also beaten them a fair amount because, yeah, those gold medals didn't come for free. Um, yeah, and just a quick shout out also to, the leadership in the DoD clan that made this Mythic Clan League possible. People like J4, also known as Denny, and then it's Chris. I think Chris or Kraz. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. I know he's from Belgium, so I know there's also German influence there in Belgium. And then Godschalk, or I don't know. Also another guy from Belgium. I don't know if it's Godschalk or something. Anyway, one day I'll get to know the gents a bit better. But anyway, so hopefully Narcotic can add another little medal onto the list of the RTSL accomplishments with something from the Mythic Clan League. It's highly possible. There are also some other really strong teams out there like Keen and CBB, so and many other teams. So anything is possible. All right, so just to give a little bit more context before we hop into the interview is a post-match interview with Narcotic after an MCL game. It's not only about MCL, so there's a lot of value in their insights from him as a player. So even if this is a video that's being watched after the MCL, it's still very pertinent and worth watching. But anyway, Mythic Clan League, as I said previously, it's a 3v3 tournament, and there's a lot of teams that's participating in it. You can see on the Liquipedia page, if you Google Liquipedia Mythic Clan League, you can get a lot of interesting information about this tournament. Clans from all over the world playing for €1,000 prize pool. It's just the first season of this tournament. I can honestly foresee in the future years that this prize pool is definitely going to grow. The community behind Age of Mythology Retold is very dedicated, and a lot of the people that are playing are in it for the long run. So let's hop into the interview now. Let's get to hear a little bit from Narcotic, and then after that, I'll go more into the history and the nitty gritty. Some really interesting stuff as well there. His history playing against Magyar, Themista, his friendship with Firefox and the other DoD guys. So stick around till the end, guys. It's worth it.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Narcotic. GG, well played. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. There was some close games. I mean, it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I must say it was a lot of fun watching from the spectator perspective. It was a joy to watch. Really nice to see, obviously, you guys as the DoD team. Just such a clean performance. Honestly, you guys look well prepared. You looked very composed. Obviously, seeing you on Atlantean, you're a legend of Atlantean, Grandmaster Atlantean player. Do you think that
Okay.
you does that help when you've got a Civ and a Pantheon that you're very comfortable with when it comes to some of the first games in a tournament?
Yeah, definitely. There are no bans in this stage of the tournament, so basically everyone can play the civilization they feel comfortable with. So yeah, for me it's definitely Atlantean in general, Uranus, Kronos, and Gaia. But yeah, I mean, I think the same goes for the opposing team and everyone else. So yeah, I'm confident as Uranus. So pretty strong in team games.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Yeah, look, I mean, I must say, um, I look forward to seeing you more on Uranus as the tournament goes on because I see you obviously excellent at getting that early pressure out on maps that call for it. But then, yeah, also ready to help your team out and be available on the map. As the captain of your team, what are some of the things that you're telling your teammates before a game? What are some of the things you guys are saying to each other to get into the right mindset before you play?
Well, in such team games, they can happen some very unexpected things. You can get doubled or tripled. So I think the scouting in general is very key to acknowledge yourself and your team. If the guy on your side is taking an expansion, is making some specific type of unit and stuff like that.
Hmm.
The map is way bigger than 1v1, so aggression comes a little bit later.
Yeah,
Timings does make sense. So, but at the same time, if you don't scout it, you get double again or triple, then you kind of explode. So,
100%.
yeah, we try to keep calm and understand what's going on, what's the idea of the opposing team.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah,
Awesome.
pretty much.
Yeah, really, yeah, solid fundamentals in team games. I think, obviously there's levels to that, and I think you guys. How long have you all been playing together? You, Apoy, Apple, I see Darth Knox also hopped in for the last game. You guys feeling quite well prepared for this tournament? Are you guys very comfortable playing together? How's the communication and the trust and the
Yeah, yeah.
motivation?
Well, each game, I mean, you normally should learn something from each game, and yeah, communication is key. We have played some games together. We didn't play a lot of games, but yeah, it's getting better each time, and I appreciate that everyone is understanding that team game. I mean, most of us come from uh, a 1v1 type of scenario, and I know that at first it kind of feels strange because you are doing okay on your side, you get an underworld passage behind your TC and you drop population so quickly, so you have
Yes.
to sort of get used to it and kind of even see it coming from your scouting, from what you're watching in the map. But I appreciate that everyone is kind of ready, let's say, ready to suffer if they get raided by the guy who's not on their side and stuff like that. In the last game, for example, Apoy was really smart. It's something he he did it already in previous games, but when he plays Norse, he tends to um, make walls all over the map that kind of protected Dartanox and myself as well.
Yes.
As Atlantean, we kind of tend to get greedy with walls because you don't wanna um, use your villager as much.
Yes.
But
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I understand that. Yeah, no, it's definitely. Look, I mean, there's a reason why that's the case. I mean, obviously, Norse, the infantry can build the walls. There's no real economic sacrifice there, whereas for a citizen to walk over, that's equivalent to almost two villages to go and build a wall and then walk somewhere else. Uh, I get that. And I mean, I really enjoyed seeing you guys working as a team and sort of working as one organism or one body. One of you is the arms, the other's the legs, the other's the hands. You all, yeah, playing your roles really well. Um, and so yeah, that was excellent. I mean, looking at game two, that one standed out for me quite a lot because Zeus seems to be an absolutely epic pick on that map, and in round two, we're going to be seeing team migration as a mandatory map for game three, if I understand correctly.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, true.
yeah, so I wonder we'll probably see a bit more of Zeus on that map because that underworld passage into the enemy's base was something they just didn't have an answer to. It felt like Apoy was in their backyard in at their house, and no one else was home except for him. So that was quite
Yeah,
epic.
yeah. That's a specific play that makes sense. You kind of get all the TCs in the opposing main island for free because they don't have an army there unless they have some gods that make fast movement like shifting sense and stuff like that. But uh,
Yeah.
the opposing team took the map and kind of had an idea to be aggressive on land that we were expecting. That kind of makes sense to be very very aggressive in the bigger island in the middle because it's where most resources and all the TCs are. So you kind of want to get there. But yeah, it's a very different map from the others, and yeah, I think in the next round, which is like you said, where everyone is forced to play there, we will see some very fun games.
Um, are are there god bands in round two? I'm
As
not
far as I know, the band starts in the double elimination bracket
okay.
where each team
Hmm.
prior to the picking phase can ban a god
Oh,
from the game.
alrighty. So, Narcotic, in terms of your history with Age of Mythology, when did you first start playing this game? How long have you been playing for?
I started with on ISO with Age of Mythology the Titan. Which year was it? I think it was 2005.
Wow.
And
How old were you
yeah,
then? Were you a youngster?
yeah, I was 13.
Wow. Okay. So, what year are you born in, if you don't mind me asking?
1991.
1991. Awesome. Okay. So then obviously you played, did you
Which
play?
makes me an old guy compared to most of the others. Yeah.
You know, the gods are wise. They don't mind if you a little bit older. Wisdom, I think, plays a big role in this. Having a mature captain who's got composure, I think it's a good thing, you know. So did you play quite a lot on Extended Edition and Vubli, or
No,
not
I
much?
skipped both version of the game. I went
Hmm.
from Age of Mythology on ISO, like I said. I went to StarCraft 2 till
Okay.
2018. So,
Okay.
but I kept staying on the RTS type of games.
I
But
see.
I remember in 2010, everyone was really hyped back then for the release of StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay, so then obviously when you were playing StarCraft, you were sort of developing your general RTS skills, your micro, your focus, your decision making and everything. So then does that mean that you only came back for Retold? Is that correct? So you took quite a long break from Age of Mythology then.
Yeah, yeah, I played other games as well as World of Warcraft, for example. But
Hmm.
uh, I I was leading a guild in World of Warcraft in the classical version of the game, and when the pre-patch for the Mists of Pandaria was released, I announced that I uh, was moving back to my old favorite type of games.
Hmm.
Of course, is RTS.
Phenomenal. Okay, so because that to me clearly shows that you know, you're a game at heart, you've got a lot of experience in different kinds of games, and that when it comes to becoming good as a gamer, it's not just about necessarily spamming the same game over and over, but developing skills in many different departments. Um, so then when you came to Age of Mythology Retold, was it just a matter of catching up with, you know, the meta or whatever, but in terms of your mechanics and your skills and your mindset, that's what's been carrying
Yeah,
you through?
yeah, definitely. I mean, compared to StarCraft, Age of Mythology is way different. The maps are not symmetrical. The fights take longer in Age of Mythology, so like you have less skill shots to it, stuff like that. And even compared to original version of the game, Retold, is much different. I mean, you here I'm talking specifically about 1v1 especially, but you can stay on one base for 20-25 minutes and that's it. But in the previous game you were I think it was 115 the full population on one TC, so you were
Yeah.
meant to take expansions much faster. And back in the
Hmm.
days uh, I was much more oriented to, like most of the Atlanteans players actually, but I was much more oriented towards fast Titan type of strategy. Whereas
Hmm.
uh, in this version of the game, I think the Titan is much weaker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
it is different. It is
Hmm.
different. But honestly, I'm not gonna lie. This game is much more balanced than the previous one. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember back in the days at the high Hilo, everything you had to play was either Uranus or Isis. Anything else was considered basically a troll to your opponent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Uranus was pretty hype at the end there. I remember that for sure. And then a little bit of Hades was coming through at the very end with extended edition, arguably. But so if you had to identify like for yourself as a player, the things that you have developed as your career as a gamer has gone on, what are some of the most important things that you would say for people that wants to really become a well-developed gamer? Is it focus? Is it staying calm? Is it dedication? Is it passion? Is it just having
Yeah.
fun? What are the things that for you have helped you to get to your level of play?
That's a pretty tough question, but I think because passion is probably the biggest one. You like most fields in life, you have to keep playing to learn and watch the replay. Although you are very frustrated because you think the other guy abused or something. Uh, Look up to better players who plays your same civilization, stuff like
Hmm.
that. Then that's a task you don't do once. You have to kind of keep doing every day, or at least with good frequency, or it's or everything goes lost in my opinion. Like whenever there is a good stream um, or a tournament in 1v1 and someone is playing Atlantean, I try to see what they do different than me,
Hmm.
what they're doing better than me, and trying to learn. You it's kind of about it. Of course, you have to play games. That's the basic. But at the same time, you have to spend uh, quite a lot of time to improve by also not play and watch the other guys, watch the replay, see
Yes.
what you you did wrong in the game.
Cool. So keep
It's tough.
learning.
It's tough. Not. I mean,
It hasn't
like
been
of
easy.
course
You've had to earn it. In other words, it as much as one might think, well, damn, Narcotic took a break from Age of Mythology, went and had fun playing some other games, obviously also at a high level, comes back and now he's captain of the one of the favorites teams. Some people that have been grinding this game might think, oh, well, I wish I was as blessed as this guy, but what you're really saying is that it's hard earned and that your mental strength, your focus, your vision and all of that, it's come through also quite a bit of grinding and wanting to learn and and grow as a gamer. Is that correct?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. And then on when it comes to days where maybe you're having a bad day, maybe you're quite tired or you feel like you're not on your A game, do you push yourself to play and just say, no, I have to get used to playing when I'm not in a good space just to toughen up, or are you sometimes rather give yourself a rest and maybe try and do some other research or play some skirmishes or practice on your own? How do you deal with fatigue as a gamer?
Uh, you might take a small break as long as like 10 minutes, but you kind of, I mean, as an adult, you don't have every day to play. So I
Hmm.
personally myself, like most of us, just play in the evening. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you get into a losing streak, you might wait a second, try to reorganize thoughts, but yeah, you kind of have to keep playing.
So do you
I think.
find even in those situations where maybe it's not going well, you rather just say to yourself, it's okay, I'm having a bad day, but I want to try and get in some practice here and just get some games in, even if you know maybe they're not going to go the best, you'll rather get some practice in and
Yeah,
some game time.
yeah, definitely types. Yeah, you kind of have to keep playing, or at least watch someone else, or talk with the clanmates about what went wrong, and stuff like that. I don't take. I try not to take days off. That's what
Yeah.
you.
Awesome, man. No, well, it definitely shows, I must say, like, um, and obviously, as I said at the start of this conversation, there's a lot of people that look up to you as a player. It's very exciting to have you, yeah, leading your team and showing us how it's done. And yeah, definitely, definitely rooting for you in the series to come. Yeah. Um,
Thank you, thank
so for some of the other teams that maybe are going into this tournament, maybe not as favorites, obviously you are, one of the stronger teams. What do you have to say to some of the teams that's maybe, for example, Friends of Mythology? Obviously, they were the underdogs in this series. What do you say to them for coming here today and giving it a good effort and trying their best? Would you have any words of encouragement for them to keep coming back maybe for the next series and to try?
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. We had a little bit of a chat before the games and even after, and they were with good mentality, trying. I mean, they told me they were going to watch the replays and trying to understand what went wrong, but they definitely have the right mindset. They're looking forward to the next rounds, and that's really important. Even the fact that they uh, picked as their home map sort of a strange map, team migration. It's a positive thing. I mean, they understand they had to try something different. It didn't really work out for them, but that that's the way. I mean, and I think as they were speaking, they kind of, even if they lost, they sort of had fun playing the games, which really important. Like you said previously, if you are having a rough evening, if you are losing games, they kept the good mentality, and that's really important for them looking forward.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so they were sticking together as a team and just staying in it for the long run. I think that also to me has been a theme with a lot of the top players here in Age of Mythology Retold is that people understand good things take time and that you keep working on yourself as a gamer and yeah, just yeah, maybe stay composed, don't get too angry and depressed about things, just keep improving little bit by little bit and then over time you can go places. So yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
alrighty. So who's your guys' next game against for
I
round
think we're going
two?
to play uh, A8M, the opposing to AVS, who just game right now.
Yes, okay, cool. Alrighty. I see, okay, so there is a scheduling thread for that. Cool, man. Well, good luck for that. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people rooting for you guys. I hope that, yeah, your preparations for that game go well and yeah, really appreciate you taking the time to chat to us. Is there anything else you want to say to the DoD supporters and fans out there, or the other leadership in the clan that have organized this epic Mythic Clan League tournament?
Like you just said, that this is the biggest tournament for that ever happened to Age of Mythology in terms of team games, and there is a huge organization behind it, and most of the things are done by uh, the administrators of DoD. So I really hope we perform well. We as A team as well as the C team, because that would be a really good sort of a payoff for the effort that they are making, J4 and other guys. So yeah, and of course, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to whoever was rooting for us or against us. That doesn't matter as long as you enjoy the game. And of course, thank you for hosting the games and having me.
Brilliant, Narcotic. Awesome, man. You're a real champ, and yeah, stay well and keep enjoying your gaming, your Age of Mythology Retold, and I hope we'll catch up again soon. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, man. Thank you for having me again.
Cool, man.
Have a good evening.
Cheers. Thanks so much. Bye for
Bye
now.
bye.
Alrighty, so now we get a chance just to reflect now that we've heard from Narcotic, just to get to know him a little bit more in detail and his history. And he is a specialist of the Atlanteans all the way back, even in his early age of Titans days. So it's not anything new that he's been cooking up. This man knows Atlantean literally inside out. I mean, he knows all the matchups, what units to make when, how to achieve his win conditions and everything. So that's very interesting that he stuck with it for quite a long time. He can play other civs, but Atlanteans are his favorite at heart. Yeah, and you know, he goes way back with J4 as well, the current leader of DoD and the man that's been leading the clan pretty much since 2006. So there's a long history there between the two of them, which is awesome. And then for me as a youngster in those days, just a couple years younger than Narcotic, I wouldn't have known who Cyclone was, but he's clearly a legend. And that to even see that Firefox was also very big in the game back in the day. Also a member of the RTS Sanctuary expert staff. So Firefox, if you hear this one, man, you're a legend yourself. You really proven your worth time and time again, and still at the top. And yeah, really cool that he sort of mentored Narcotic a bit and helped him through the ranks. I'm sure Narcotic has done the same for other people. So yeah, really, really cool. And yeah, it is a record, the number of RTSL gold medals that Narcotic has. So very, very cool. And he achieved Grandmaster status quite a few times in StarCraft 2, which is super, super cool. Alrighty, so if we look at the history of DoD and also how it intertwines with Narcotic, I mean, we can see the clan goes back to 30 March 2005, and it was started by a gentleman called Duel. But J4, who's still the current leader, you know, obviously took over a lot of the leadership roles already in 2006. So man has literally been going for 2 decades. What, you know, what a legend. Um, yeah, DoD having not only been a very big and long-standing clan, but also winning many, many titles. And some of those names in the leadership will probably stand out to a lot of the current players. I mean, Narcotic, Firefox, Chris slash Kraz, Jollyman, Godsulk. There's a lot there of other players as well the list goes on, honestly. But anyway, what's very interesting to note is that there was a bit of a rivalry that went on in the early days of Age of Mythology between the DoD clan and another clan called Khorne, and another clan called Experts, which was the RTS Sanctuary Experts. So a couple of teams that really were playing at a very high level already in the early days of Age of Mythology. I mean, this is like, if you know, early to mid 2000s. I mean, you can pause and read for yourself, but otherwise, I'll just read and skim over some of this. But basically, when the Experts clan was disbanded, Narcotic and Cyclone joined DoD. And Cyclone, from what I understand, was pretty much Narcotic's mentor at the early stages. Obviously, Narcotic having now, well, he quite quickly grew into a player in his own right, that's for damn sure. But anyway, the Khorne team, who was on the Khorne team? Well, if we look at those names, Magyar, Themister, and Decimus. I don't know who Decimus was, but I definitely know Magyar and Themister. Well, they are known to be some of the best players of all time, and I will go out and say, in my mind, Themister is the absolute GOAT. Let's be honest. It's going to take a lot for anybody to prove otherwise. But nevertheless, it was a back and forth between DoD and Khorne. Khorne often having the upper hand, but also DoD winning many times. Um, and yeah, eventually they were both actually upset by another team, JRJ, in one of the instances of the RTSL, I think it was. Yeah, look, I mean, all very interesting. And to note that Magyar eventually joined DoD after Khorne disbanded. Who would have thought Magyar, one of the all-time greats, also played for DoD? So his clans has been at the top for a long, long time. So if we go a little bit deeper into this history, we see that while Magyar was dominating the 1v1 scene, Narcotic and Sia were a 2v2 team to be reckoned with. Um, and yeah, the JRJ clan was one of DoD's main rivals who actually won clan wars back in the day. And I think they were a team of people from definitely from Europe. I think they had some players from Netherlands. I don't know if there was also German or Belgian, but definitely a lot of really, really good players there. Now, going along, eventually Magyar, as we said, joined the DoD team, and I think that's when things really also started to kick off to another level for them, honestly speaking, because yeah, they got their fifth win in Clan War tournament, so they were really starting to stamp their authority. And yeah, look, I mean, there was even, I see, interestingly enough, there's a mention of Chemo in there. Chemo having played for a French team, which is really cool. And yeah, DoD eventually switched to Vubli. Another mention of Spoofed. I think his name is Spoofed or Spoeft. And what can you say? I mean, these oaks were just going all out, and I think we've seen Spoofed on Retold as well, playing a little bit. There's mentions of names like Shalty. Shalty's also a legend. Zukt. Um, so yeah, you guys can pause and read for yourself the details. I don't need to read everything, but still, some really interesting stuff, guys. So just to round this off, I want to go to a little bit of the RTS background of Narcotic when it comes to StarCraft 2. Man was winning cash. He was playing for Italy. was selected by his teammates to represent the country, which is just insane. I mean, we all know how strong Italy is in many different gaming spheres. So to be one of, if not the, well, he was the best at points in Italy and also right up at the top at other times. So yeah, awesome to see that the skills in RTS are quite transferable. Obviously, there's a lot of sort of esoteric knowledge that you need to pick up as you play along and in each specific game, but there are transferable skills, which is really interesting. And who would have known Narcotic is left-handed? So that's quite interesting. Something different for all the lefties out there. You're not alone. Um, yeah. And it's also really cool. Narcotic, once again, displaying his leadership qualities. He was actually part of the DoD sort of leadership and administration side that was trying to, and did for quite a long time, actually form a StarCraft team and community there. So really cool to note that DoD is not only a Age of Mythology clan. Obviously, the StarCraft component has been closed down, but for a long time they were doing stuff there. And who knows, maybe one day we'll see DoD playing some other games as well. But for now, focus very much on Age of Mythology Retold. And rightfully so. It's an epic game. There's a lot going on, and I think in next couple of months, years, I think we're really gonna see the backbone of the community coming through, and it's gonna grow from strength to strength in many senses. Alrighty, ladies and gents, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Narcotic a little bit better. Highly recommend if you want to join an active, talkative Age of Mythology community, head over on Discord. If you don't have it, download it. You can search in the servers for Deities of Death or the DoD clan. And yeah, even people that's not in the team or the clan are very welcome to participate in chats, and you can even find friends to play with in the looking for group channel. I myself have made quite a few friends there, and I'm not currently a member of DoD. Who knows, maybe one day I will join, but nevertheless, I'm still getting into the Age of Mythology community, and I'd love to get to know more of you guys. So also you can reach out to me on Discord. My nickname is Jeth. Yeah, that's me, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Keep enjoying your games, have fun, enjoy the mythology, the challenge, and all that comes with it. So, yeah. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day and peace out, y'all.